Control equals money. The money will show up if you have the deal,
You're the most important person in the room if you have the best deals.
not the people with the money.
Yesterday, I closed the deal for $11.35 million. I was a truck driver. It took me 15 times to pass the exam. On my fourth year in real estate, I was number 8 in the world at all Century 21s worldwide. Don't get into commercial real estate. It's too difficult. You're not going to understand that. And that's what motivated me, because the guy that told me was the broker.
There's such a avalanche of opportunities. My life changed when I stopped viewing other agents as competition, but instead viewed them as collaborators. So Louis, you specialize in commercial real estate where the commissions are pretty hefty. I mean, I think you shared with me that recently you had a commission of over $400,000 on one transaction. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I'm imagining though at the beginning you weren't making checks that big. So talk to us a little bit about that journey and how you got to kind of the place that you're at right now.
You know, I'm gonna be straightforward and tell you guys, just give you everything, right? I came into the business and I was a truck driver 10 years ago. And I decided to leave my job and I came into the business. It didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out, right? I stood in my car for a little while. And then I took the real estate exam, and it took me 15 times to pass the exam. On my fourth year in real estate, I was number 8 in the world at all Century 21s worldwide. When I first started off, they said, don't get into commercial real estate. It's too difficult. You're not going to understand that. It's complicated. And that's what motivated me, because the guy that told me was the broker. Once he said that, it was game on. And then a couple of years later after that, he came over and said, all right, man, teach me that.
I share with people regularly, like the pattern is usually at first they'll call you crazy. Then they'll maybe laugh at you. Yeah. Then they'll call you a crook, like, oh, well, you must be like doing something illegal, be making all this money. And then the last thing they call you for is advice.
And that's like, pretty cool when that happens, right?
Out of the gate, again, like when you kind of jumped into the commercial side of things, was it just kind of off to the races for you, or?
Here was the way I built it. I came in the office and I said, hey, look, I got this guy wants to sell his car wash. He says, no, don't mess with that. And then that's when I said, okay, I'm out, I'm leaving. And I went to go get some advice from people that were in the commercial space. What I did was I started creating OMs. And these people were saying, hey, sell my property, but I'm not going to list my property. I said, well, okay. Can I create an OM, offering memorandum package? It's like a flyer on steroids, right? And I started creating those packages, and I started sending them to people that I've communicated with and did business with, and said, hey, look, I have this property for sale. And they say, well, look, this is great, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for this. And then I would start prospecting that. But I started collaborating with other commercial agents and saying, hey, look, I have this off-market thing. Here's the package. And then they would start collaborating with me. But I learned something really valuable, Aaron, is that don't get into commercial business and go after only sellers. You're not going to be able to partner those sellers up with any buyers of yours. You got to go after buyers. I learned a valuable lesson. It cost me a lot of money.
A commercial seems more to be in alignment with like true brokering.
Yes.
Meaning like you find an opportunity and then you have a conversation with that person, maybe get an offer memorandum. And then you got to go find the person that would be interested in that thing, right? Yes. Versus relying solely independently on the multiple listing service to bring that buyer. So, okay. And then as you started to grow and scale, how did you get into, because you started off with like car washes and stuff and,
yep.
How did it progress into like institutional grade kind of commercial real estate, like apartment buildings and things of that nature?
You know, it was the knowledge that I picked up when I first started. I started in foreclosures right off the bat. I'm 100% know that if you get into the default business, you're going to learn so much more so quick, because you're going to learn on how to problem solve a lot faster. I learned how to problem solve. So I was able to have these conversations with these big institutional buyers and these $500 million guys and sit at the table. Right, because they really like deals, and the distressed deals are very. They really like to purchase these, right? Because they're great deals. Sometimes they're 75% on the dollar, right? 75 cents on the dollar, 80% on the dollar, sometimes 50% on the dollar, right? So that's when a great opportunity.
Controlling the deal equals money.
100%.
Because when you have the opportunity, I think we operate under the false misperception that there's a shortage of money on planet Earth. There is not. The money will show up if you have the deal. And that's kind of what you learned in that process. Yeah.
Yes. Those transactions, they love those. Look, I've been in a room where there's big big institutional buyers and people with a lot of capital. And we're in the room, and what separates us from the conversation is that who has the best deals.
Mhm.
Like, you're the most important person in the room. If you have the best deals,
Yep.
that's it.
Whoever's controlling the best deals is the most important person in the room, not the people with the money.
100%, brother. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
Right?
And in the commercial space, you can be very creative, Aaron, right? Like you can represent, and then the buyer can pay you, the seller's paying you, right? It's just, if the deal is right, you can pick and choose which buyer you're going to choose to buy that asset, whoever's going to bring money to the table.
You find yourself now, I believe that there's a saying that says you could spend a whole career preparing for one opportunity. And it really seems like that's what's happening for you, right? Where you have all this wealth of knowledge and now there's this tsunami. So maybe talk a little bit about what you're seeing as far as debt coming due and the distress that it's causing and the opportunities available as a result.
Yes, it's wild, brother, because, and you're 100% right. It's the 3.5%, 4% interest rates. So they were picking up all these assets, and they were doing the 5 years, the 3-year loans, right? Now they're matured, and there's some big institutions that bought, I don't know, 20,000 homes as well.
Yeah.
Right, because they have all this capital and they picked up all these properties. So it has to do with homes as well. Arizona, Texas, Houston, all of these states, Florida, all these states are.
Oh, that's interesting. So you are seeing kind of that track home where they are buying up as much as possible hand over fist, that those portfolios are also coming due and resetting.
Yes. Okay. Because look at, they were buying them in 2020, right? In 2019, where the prices were just ridiculous. 2021, and now there's no equity, right? And then now these people are having trouble paying the mortgage or paying the rent. Look, at the end of the day, I'm in a great position, praise God, because what happens is now, I'll use it for instance. Yesterday, a lender reached out to me and says, "Hey, I know you have this property in Ernest, Texas, and I want to know what we can do to close it." And I said, "Well, you need to drop your interest on this so we can close it. I'll drop the price on the listing, but you're going to have to surrender some of your interest so we can close this deal." And he's like, "I'm open for that. What does that look like? Tell me what it looks like." And exactly what happened with that yesterday. I closed the deal for $11.35 million, and they took 1.1 all together. But the interest that I went after for that institutional lender, I got an $800,000 discount of interest off that to close that deal. These lenders are starting to reach out.
Well, it's happening more and more due to, so it's like, as you know, because you've been doing this for a long time, that we think that we're thinking beings that feel when we're really feeling beings that think.
Yep.
And the reason why they're so open to have conversations is because we're more motivated by pain than we are pleasure. And they're starting to experience a lot of pain.
$3 trillion of pain. When I was talking to him on the phone, it sounded like a little bit of desperation.
Like urgency. Like, I guess.
Yeah. Like, let's settle this deal, Louis.
Yeah, like whatever we need to do to make this happen right now. Like, tell me.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like, so, again, you can spend a whole career preparing for one opportunity. That's specifically true for you. You've acquired this specialized knowledge over an extended period of time, so you're uniquely equipped. At the same time, you are limited in the sense that, like, you're one person. Yes. So what are you doing intentionally and purposefully to be able to serve more people across the country, or agents who bump into these opportunities but don't know how to execute on them?
It's giving them knowledge and finding out what to listen for and how to bring those people to the table, right? I'm partnering up with other agents and partnering up with other institutions. I'm partnering up with attorneys, lots of attorneys. Like, I just picked up a $35 million deal last week, right? So I collaborating with agents, Aaron, is valuable. I didn't know it was that valuable till a couple of years ago, right? They want to make money, right? And they want to learn, but they just need some guidance. Just on this deal that I closed a couple of weeks ago, it was an agent from KW, top guy from KW in residential. It has motivated me to push my numbers. So just last week, I came in number one small team nationally. And then right now I'm number two nationally. And the numbers are up, and people are watching, and people are reaching out, and we're putting these deals together, and I'm collaborating with them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let me show you how. Bring a deal and I'll show you how.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think as people that are kind of hard charging and smart, hardworking, and ambitious, the tendency is to, we're usually people that are very motivated by security and also very motivated by significance.
Yep.
So we want to, we want to be the guy, and we want to, or the girl, and we want to, show people how much we can perform and this and that, and kind of stand out amongst our peers. At the same time, something I've learned, and something like you had that awareness too, I can make up for with leverage what I lack in ability. So like
Yes.
you personally can only do so much without collaborating with all of these other agents, right?
Yes.
I used to view them like my life changed when I stopped viewing other agents as competition, but instead viewed them as collaborators.
I did the same thing. I was like, okay, let's keep it in the office. Let me teach 20 guys or 20 or 15 people. Let me teach you guys this stuff. This is valuable stuff, right? And some don't want to learn. Some are not very motivated, but there's agents out there now that the fairies have joined me. I just want to educate people, man, on how to bring these deals, right? And then partner up, and then everybody eats.
But then it's also understanding the different forms of leverage that I have at my disposal. So one
Right.
form of leverage is labor. It's better than having no leverage. It's just that, people get sick, they get tired, they quit, they want more money, like whatever, right? The second highest form of leverage is money. You get money working for you, never gets tired, never gets sick, never quits. The problem though is it's constrained. So it only works in the apartment building. There's two new forms of leverage that are actually more powerful than those two. And the richest people on the planet have been using them for the last 30 years. The one is media. So, what we're doing right now, because the cool part is like you have this amazing specialized knowledge and you can help a lot of people who bump into these deals. The problem is not enough people know about you.
Yes. Yes.
And this medium is a platform in which me and you can send the digital version of ourselves out to go have conversations with tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people. And then they're like, oh man, like this guy knows about the commercial thing. And then over time, they may reach out to you because they got value from what it is that we did, sort of thing. And that's kind of the mission that you're on at the moment.
Yes. And once again, I took the real estate exam 15 times. Now, how is that possible for me to be in this position? I'm just in service, man, right? I'm motivated to help people increase their income. And it doesn't, like, there's an abundance of business in this space. And it's wild because there's not very many people in this space.
That's right. And then I'm curious, like, in order to, because I do think that you can do more in a small slice of time where there's like a tsunami of momentum, which is what you're describing in terms of all this debt coming due, in like a 4 or 5 year time frame than you can in a whole career. So like you see that happening. So the question is like, what are you doing, or what are you putting in the form of infrastructure? Like what popped into my head is like a site where people can go to, where they can like kind of put their deal in. And then like you guys can like, what are you guys doing to continue to expand the reach beyond the states that you're currently in? Because right now, how many states are you guys in that you're helping people?
Right now, I'm in 7 states.
Okay, good. And, I've gotten to know you a little bit, in preparation for this. I know that the goal is to be in all the states. So, what are you doing intentionally and purposely to ensure that that takes place?
So I bought some equipment, right? And the equipment cost me about 250 grand that allows me to go into all the states for less than what I used to market, right? So these pieces of equipment, I do a lot of mailers and it still works. Right now I'm doing into the digital. So now I'm starting to partner up with people like people with a lot of wisdom like yourself, Aaron. And I bring them alongside and I say, look, this is my vision. This is what I want to do. Tell me what to do. So now I have people from Jersey all over, and I've taught them the business. And Florida is very fruitful right now, brother. There's a lot of distress in Florida. Like number one is Florida, right? Texas, California. So Florida is leading the country right now in distress for over 2 years now.
Is there an opportunity for those who wish to get into kind of owning commercial grade real estate? There's an opportunity to buy at discounts.
What happened in Florida, Aaron? They reevaluated the HOAs, right?
Yep.
Because of what happened over there, and it doubled the HOAs, and those are the people that were calling me. You know what I had to do, brother? I had to shut down Florida because I wasn't prepared. I got bombarded, and my wife takes the calls, and then other people, and my son. It was mad. I had to pull out, and then now I'm going to go back in. We're putting things in place to to control that.
What does that look like? Is this like where if they reach out to you that you will provide them an opportunity to kind of like just be a fly on the wall and watch as you do it? Or is it like they just hand it off to you and there's a referral fee involved? Like, what is that?
This is my whole thing about this, Aaron. I would rather you come alongside me and let's put this deal together, like the guy that brought this deal that we just closed a couple of weeks ago, and he made over $100,000. And then now we have another one that's worth $17 million. We're starting to negotiate, and another one for $5 million. Same client, and he brought the client, so he's going to be able to be alongside us with this with the $17 million, which the property is only worth $14 million. But the debt is 17. I already know that I'm going to be able to get that thing sold. Partnering up with other agents and splitting the deal or 30% or 25%, it's easy for me, right? Because what happens is those clients tell other clients, look, this guy is negotiating debt like a madman. I think it's a great opportunity for you to meet him. And that's what's happening with me right now. I can give you a tip for your agents. If they go to an attorney and say, hey, attorney, I want you to be the negotiator for me, because the lenders and the servicers and the trustees, they move for attorneys, man, a lot quicker than they do for a negotiator. Just that they go direct and the responses are quicker. Last week, a guy at a Motel 6 in Central California, default, he owns 4 other hotels. And all I did was order the payoffs, man, order the reinstatements and the payoffs. He's going to sign the listing today. I have the buyer. His debt is like 6.8. He bought it for 8.2. I'm going to work on it because there's a 40% drop in the business. So I'm going to negotiate it like $4 million.
And you think with a high degree of probability, you'll be able to make that work?
The payment's $55,000 a month there, and the guy was only $10,000 going towards principal. So 45 grand a month for 2 years was going towards interest only. So it's $1,080,000 of interest only. Like, here's a P&Ls. If you don't do this, he's going to file Chapter 11. And then what's going to happen there is it's going to drag on for another 2 more years. Do you want that, or do you want the money? Now let's talk.
And the bank's happy because they get their money and they're not going to have to lose $1 million a year for the next 2 years of interest.
It's a win-win for him. It's a headache for him right now, right? It's a distress asset that he doesn't have time to run. And I got all this done over the phone, Aaron. I haven't even visited the guy.
Yeah, and truthfully, you don't have to, because we train agents to do as often as possible to do like Zoom appointments where they physically don't have to go close over the phone sort of thing, because it's just way more efficient. And you're doing the same thing. It's just that the rip is going to is enormous, because you might make like you have a conversation, you pull the thing, you have like a call, and maybe you spend 10 hours and you might make like 150 or 200,000 bucks.
So here's something very interesting I want to share with you is Mike Ferry, Michelle's dad, was blown away when Michelle tells her dad, I'm getting these listings DocuSign, Dad, and I'm charging for 5%. It's a game changer. We're in different times, man. We don't really need to go to the appointment to get the listing.
No. And it's interesting because when I was in production, heavily in production, we would do like 150, 200 deals a year. And 40% of the homes, I never saw them personally, and I never met the owner in person.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Because we live in a different world. Like we don't. Yeah. And truthfully now, and it's interesting because it very much so is like a demographic thing. But like now, if you were to talk to people that are, I don't know, perhaps like 40 or younger, if I have to physically go somewhere, I view that as an inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to go to the mall. Like, I just want to click a button and have it send it to me. Like, I don't want to physically go. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing time to be alive if you are enterprising. If agents out there, if they have an opportunity, if they, you strike me to be someone, if you had a question that you'd be more than happy to answer it for them, where could they find you? Should they go to a website? Should they call you? Like, how could they connect with you?
So I have a website. They could find me on Instagram. They can find me on Messenger, Facebook. But like I'm very transparent. I really am. Like here's my information. Here's my phone number. You guys want to talk? Let's talk. You want to do a seminar? I'm even willing to go down to Florida, man, and open up Florida. I really am, and do a seminar about what is going on in this market.
Yeah, and I certainly do believe that there's opportunities to collaborate. So we'll have further conversations there, because I know that agents, they bump into these opportunities and they may not just know how to take advantage of them. So yeah, brother, I appreciate you taking the time. I know your time is valuable, and look forward to reconnecting soon.
Thanks, Aaron. Thank you for putting this together, man. Have a blessed day.
It's definitely just a more competitive market. There's fewer deals to go around. Commissions are getting compressed. So what I've done a little different than the average real estate agent is kind of come up with a hybrid model. The majority of the income comes from the creative cash offer type marketing. Last year, we did 85 retail transactions, 15 off-market wholesale assignments. Notice the difference there in terms of the average fee between those two companies. We did 2.7 million last year with 4 salespeople. Awesome. So what I wanted to get into today